I've talked about getting specific on your manifestations before, but I don't think I've explained it quite in this way. And this is critical if you really want to know how to manifest, because a lot of people think that getting specific means getting very specific on what they actually want, which is their desire. And while that is part of it, and there's so much focus in this manifestation community about being so specific in your desires, there is a critical component to specificity that gets entirely missed by most people, and it isn't talked about enough. So I want to really address this today, and that is addressing the specificity of why you want your desire and the state of being you are in when you have that desire. That's the specificity I want you to focus on. I don't want you to necessarily just focus on the make and the model of the car that you want, okay? I don't want you to focus on the type of color paint that you have on your garage, the 4-bedroom house that you are manifesting. That's all fine and good to specify those things. In fact, you can go specific on those things, you can go general on those things. But I want you to get specific on why you actually want what you think you want. And oftentimes, when you dive deep into why, you realize that a lot of the things that you're specifying about the actual object or desire or experience, you don't really care that much about it, and you can let those things go. Because the why, when you get specific on the why it is, so it's not that you want a lot of money, you don't want $10 million in the bank account, you want the freedom, okay, to be able to have that financial freedom to just spend and not look at the price tag when you go into a restaurant or go into the grocery store, right? You want the financial freedom there. Okay, keep asking why. Why is it that you want the financial freedom there? The more that you ask why, and then what would the state of being of financial freedom feel like, right? What would I be thinking? Get specific on that. Get specific on those things when it's a specific person. Don't focus so much on, oh, well, I want them to be 6 feet tall, or I want them to be this certain look, this certain way, their eyes or their nose shaped this way, and I want them to have this type of hair. I'm not saying like you can't have those things. I'm not saying that you can't do those things. That's great. But a lot of you are completely missing the entire other part of specificity, which is so critical. It's why you actually want the relationship with this person. Why do you actually want what you want? Why do you want that companionship? Okay, why do you want that support? Why do you want that to be chosen? Why do you want to be loved? And then get specific on the state of being you are in when you are chosen, when you are loved, when you are desired, when you are in partnership with this person. That's the specificity I want you to focus on. And when you start specifying that, you're going to get so much clearer on what you actually want, your true desires, your authentic desires. And in that way, you're going to have a much more clear path to your manifestation. And that is what actually powers and motivates that manifestation in flowing into you, because you are so clear on why it is that you want what you want and what the state of being is that already has that thing that you are manifesting.